All right, hey VC, how you doing? My name is Jamie. Welcome back. We're back with a contest entry on this one. This is for Shad and his channel, Vinyl New Wave. And as you can tell by the title of that channel, he deals a lot with new wave music. He's got a great selection of music, but check it out. And congratulations on your subscribers, Shad. And yeah, he's got a contest going on, so let's get our entry in. Let's get right to it. First off, he wants you to show a new wave album. Now, if you've seen the contest entries for this YouTube channel, you've likely seen quite a variety of new wave albums already. This one came to mind. I don't think anyone has presented this one. This is Haircut 100 and the album Pelican West. This came out in 1982. Pretty much their main album. I think they did one album after this, and that was pretty much it. Nick Hayward left the band shortly after, I believe, this album. And Nick Hayward went on to a moderately successful solo career. Love Plus One was the big hit from this one. Now, if you dismiss this band, I would check out this album if you haven't had a chance to actually just kind of sit down and listen to it. Great use of horns. It's got that kind of really almost R&B style, but again, it's classified as new wave. And again, everything that pretty much came out in the late 70s, early 80s, if it was pop oriented, it was going to be new wave. But this is a great album overall. Still enjoy listening to it. Fantastic Day. Baked Bean, as I said, is a great tune. Calling Captain Autumn, and a really nice use of horns on this one. So check this out. And yeah, a lot of fun. Haircut 100, Pelican West. That's my new wave entry. And I just thought I'd show some Canadian new wave albums. If you're not familiar with some of these bands, we'll just go through them. We got Boys Brigade. This is their one and only album. And Passion of Love was the big hit from this one. Also, Melody got some radio play. But the main member from this band, Malcolm Byrne, went on to quite a successful career as a producer and engineer, working with such people as Bob Dylan, the Neville Brothers, Iggy Pop, and also John Cougar Mellencamp, to name just a few. So yeah, this is the one and only album. It's not an easy one to find, but Boys Brigade. When I think of Canadian new wave, this is definitely one of the bands that comes to mind. Also, a band called Strange Advance. I remember meeting members of this band when I was in college. They were going through London through a tour, and they dropped in. And yeah, again, just nice new wave kind of pop sound. Overall, Strange Advance. Worlds Away, She Controls Me was a big hit. Worlds Away as well. Okay, now a band that's a lot more, say, pop than sort of new wave, but I've always been a fan of the Spoons. This is Listen to the City. This is actually a soundtrack to a movie, but this features Romantic Traffic, which was a big hit, and Tell No Lies, which was a really big radio hit. I do also have the album Arias and Symphonies, which is an absolutely terrific album, but I couldn't seem to find it to show it to you, so at least I thought I'd get some under the Canadian band The Spoons. Now, a band certainly everybody knows about, Men Without Hats, and of course, Rhythm of Youth featuring Safety Dance. Yeah, but great, great Canadian new wave pop kind of stuff. And also a band you may not be familiar with is a band called Blue Peter. Now, this is not to be confused with the British children's program. Blue Peter, a Canadian new wave band. They released a number of albums, had a really nice kind of synth and new wave kind of sound overall. And I've come across a few Blue Peter albums out in the wild. And they did put out a lot of like EPs, not just LPs, but also EPs as well. So we have that and this. Okay, so a sample of a Canadian new wave. And then the other part of the question is show maybe an album of a genre that you quite like. Now, he said a genre that's better than new wave. I don't want to say anything's necessarily better than new wave or a style of music's necessarily better than the other. But I have been enjoying a lot of electronic music lately. And certainly, if you know my channel, you know I'm a Tangerine Dream fan. And I have shown this album before, but Tangerine Dream, great electronic music and a great introduction to Tangerine Dream. If you've wanted to kind of explore that band, is this album Thief, the soundtrack to the movie that stars James Caan. And yeah, this is just great overall. The title track alone, Beach Theme, just pulls you right in. And again, it's instrumental. There's no vocals, that sort of thing. Very synthesizer driven, but Tangerine Dream. If you're looking to explore some electronic music, this would be a nice kind of place to start, I would think, overall. And then the last part of the question, which I found was very interesting, was talk about maybe one of your personal hobbies other than collecting vinyl. For me, I've talked about it on my channel. I have been in a number of community theater productions. I generally tend to do plays like comedies or dramas. I haven't done one for a little bit. I haven't done one for, I think, well over a year now. But I have done a number of community theater shows over the years. But I've also done a number of musicals. And what's interesting for the musicals that I've been in, I've never had really big featured parts in musicals. As I say, I'm more drawn to comedies and dramas, that sort of thing. But what's interesting about being featured in musicals is then I get to purchase the soundtrack and then have the memories of that. It's not the soundtrack to the actual show I was in, but obviously like the Broadway show or the London show. So I get to listen to it. It was sounding, of course, very similar to the show that I was in. I think I've talked about this. I was in Brigade. I played Jeff Douglas in this one. So that's the classic Brigadoon soundtrack. And I was also in Cabaret, as again, this is all community theater, but this is a soundtrack for Cabaret. I was also featured in Fiddler on the Roof, a community theater production. Of course, here's the classic soundtrack with Zero Mostel. And Guys and Dolls, this is probably my biggest theater role. I played Nathan Detroit in Guys and Dolls. Nathan, Detroit. So, Guys and Dolls. So a few of the musicals that I've been in. And it's interesting how something like that then kind of follows its way back to our love of music, collecting vinyl CDs, that sort of thing. So, Shad at Vinyl New Wave, congratulations on your channel, and the subscribers just keep coming in. If you haven't checked out his channel, probably still a little bit of time to get entered. So, get your entry and have some fun with that. I'm Jamie. We'll chat again. Bye-bye.